Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining us right here today is Ritchie, Dave Porter, and Debra Susan. How's it going, guys?
Everything's great, Kayden. It's great to speak to you again.
Yes, finally to catch up with you after our little meeting in August. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. So let's get started by getting to know you guys a little bit and tell us, how did you get started in music? Why don't we go ahead and start with Ritchie?
But it all started for me when I was 11 years old, and I was exposed to the music of Jimi Hendrix Experience and Led Zeppelin, the Jeff Beck Group, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and all of those great guitarists were a huge influence on me. So from the age of 11, I decided there and then that I wanted to spend my whole life mastering the art of the guitar. Mm-hmm. And then since then, I've done many albums, and now there's the story so far with Debra Susan, which had a lot of critical acclaim. It was in all the top magazines like Blues Matters magazine, Blues in Britain, all that sort of stuff. Blues in the South, we were on the cover of that as well. So it's just been a fantastic time. And then obviously, as you know yourself, we won the Silver Award for International Duo of the Year,
which was a real highlight, wasn't
International Singer-Songwriters Association Awards in Atlanta, Georgia, in August 2024, which was absolutely unexpected and absolutely fantastic, because we went all that way and we never had any idea we were going to win anything. But to get the Silver Award for International Duo of the Year was absolutely fantastic, and it made the trip even better.
Definitely, absolutely.
It's nice to know that our all original Southern rock, blues and rock music is greatly appreciated and has many fans, which is fantastic.
Sort of encourages to write more.
And for you, Debra, tell us your story.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I've always loved music. I think I sort of came out of the pram singing. I can sort of remember singing maybe when I was about 2 or 3 years old, and I sort of carried on. I sort of played the piano a little bit. I played the flute, but singing was always forefront. It was always my first love. I didn't go and get professionally trained in singing until I was actually almost about 40, I think I was, or something like that, without giving my age away. And I've sort of got a background in musical theatre and opera. And then finally I met Ritchie and we started writing music together. Mm-hmm. And we've been together for, well, it's not even quite 4 years, is it?
It's our anniversary tomorrow. I married Debra a year ago.
Wedding anniversary
tomorrow.
Yeah, one year tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So really we've sort of done quite a lot together in a short period of time, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, prior to Debra, I was always writing everything alone on guitar, and I reached a point in my solo career at the time. I was doing mostly acoustic blues albums and acoustic rock albums, and I reached a point where I didn't want to sing anymore. And I was never the greatest singer anyway. I was always one of those guitarists that thinks they can sing.
No,
so basically, my vocals were all right. But basically,
Jimi Hendrix type.
Yeah, I always had like a Hendrixy kind of voice, so I talked my way through songs. But I always wanted to have my own sort of Robert Plant, and then I sort of met Debra, and she fulfills the Robert Plant to my Jimmy Page bit, or the Steve Tyler to Joe Perry, and I needed my magical other half to complete the whole picture. So I write all the chords and riffs and guitar solos on my Telecasters and acoustic, present it to Debra, and I never know what she's going to come up with lyrically or melodically. So Debra writes all the lyrics and melodies and sings all the words that she writes. And so me on guitar, Debra on vocals.
It seems to work, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works great. And, like I say, we've won an award now. We've been in all the top magazines.
Absolutely delighted with that. It was just amazing to have
and we've opened a lot of great festivals together as a duo. And, and people say, well, it takes some real guts to get up there on a big festival stage and open it as a duo. But we've done that many times because we believe in ourselves, and there's a power and an honesty to our music, whether it's blues, rock or Southern rock. And, we like to entertain, and we always endeavor to put on a really good show.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, tell me a little bit about your song, The Cool September Rain. Tell us about that.
Well, basically, I started writing the chords and the structure to it, and I've been listening to a lot of Jimmy Page with the Black Crowes at the time, and I wanted to do a Southern rock song that was very much original. So I wrote the chords and the structures, and I was thinking of cornfields, and I was thinking of that kind of thing, and rock and roll in that Black Crowsy kind of way. But obviously, I had no idea what Debra was going to come up with. So
It just shows we think
yeah.
along the similar lines, because I never know what he's going to come up with.
Mhm.
And basically, when I'm sort of writing, the melody and the lyrics is always done at the same time. I don't sit and write a sheet of lyrics and then make up the melody. It's sort of all done together.
Yeah.
So the melody and the lyrics are all written at the same time. Usually takes me about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something like that to get it structured and sorted out, but it's written immediately, and it's always written based on what I feel and what I hear. So when I listen to it, don't ask me how, but I sort of imagined cornfields and somebody escaping, and not dissimilar to myself. We escaped from the Birmingham city centre and we moved out to the countryside. So there's sort of like an element of truth and thought in that. And I think it was sort of probably influenced from those factors. And obviously, we live in a barn, we live in the countryside. It's very beautiful with all the cornfields. And I thought, oh, so it sort of conjured up images of that sort of thing. So that's basically what I wrote about, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was always a city boy, and I grew to really dislike living in the city. I grew to detest the city of Birmingham because there was such an escalating crime rate, and it was just so big. But it was great for cinema and restaurants and clothes shopping, and that was fantastic. We've got some wonderful friends to this day in Birmingham that are very close to our hearts and always will be. And some of them have come to visit us at the barn in the countryside, which is great. But the wonderful thing is where we live, it's just so peaceful. There's not many people. It's just lots of cows and sheep and hills and woods and fields. And there's us, and obviously there's the big baby cat, the Maine Coon.
You've got a Maine Coon kitten.
Max.
He seems to be getting enormous. He's huge.
Yeah, he's I don't know if you know much about him, but he's actually a kitten, and he's 4 months old. But they're the largest domesticated cats you can own legally in the world. They're like little tigers. They grow to about 4 feet long. He's right by us now. He's fast asleep, bless him. But he's our best friend, and he'll be our protector. I don't think anyone will break into the barn with a 4-foot Maine Coon running around when he's older.
I wouldn't myself.
He's very friendly.
So people want to check you guys out. Where can they find you?
They can find us on www.ritchiedaveporter.co.uk, which is our official music website, which has all official music videos to all the singles produced by Michael Tingle, our producer, that are available on Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, and other platforms. That has all the Rock and Blues magazine reviews as well, and some nice stuff about the ISSA awards on there now too. So that Silver Award win is on there too.
Absolutely.
They can find us on the Ritchie Dave Porter, Debra Susan YouTube channel. And there's a Ritchie Dave Porter, Debra Susan on Instagram as well, and LinkedIn and X, which used to be called Twitter. There's a Ritchie Dave Porter, Debra Susan on X, which used to be called Twitter. So we're all over social media these days. So there's lots of ways to see our official music videos and interact with us. They're spoiled for choice, really. There's a lot of platforms there.
That's awesome. And is there anything that I forgot to mention that you two would like to mention before we go today?
Well, Debra's saying we're hoping to maybe get one more recording session in to actually do our first Christmas record.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
I've been trying to persuade him, as cheesy as it might be, to do a Christmas song for the last 2 years, and I've failed miserably.
Yeah.
But I've kept exerting pressure, and I'm hoping that he's going to succumb at some point. Well, so you might get one out of us yet.
We've actually written something, and it is Christmassy, but it's still very rock and roll. So yes, I've succumbed to doing a Christmas song, but it's still going to be a rock and roll song. I mean, I grew up on Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and Jeff Beck, so I'm not going to write something that's like George Michael, Careless Whisper. It's going to be like
There's nothing wrong with George Michael's.
George Michael's great. Don't get me wrong. I've never seen anyone sing with Queen as good as George Michael. I mean, when he sang "Somebody to Love" with the surviving members of Queen, that moved me to tears, because I think even Freddie would have been impressed by that performance.
Yeah, they were.
It was unbelievably good.
You just need something as good as that, then it would be well away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ritchie, Dave Porter, and Debra Susan, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's Best Country Mix. Definitely appreciate your time and support, and hope to have you on the show again real soon.
It's
Thank
been a
you
real
so
pleasure.
much,
Thank you so
Kayden.
much, Kayden. That was
Lovely.
lovely of you. Very kind of you.
Hope to catch up with you soon. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers.
Thank